Hello. My name is Alex Kooberz, also known as Kooberz, and I make animated Lego movies.
And now it's time to play
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That's a nearly dead horse. Alright, moving on.
If you're watching this at the Red vs. Blue UK event, thank you for sitting down and taking the time to check this out, because I work really hard on my animations and I really make them for you. So let me take you on a tour of this room and my process and the project. We're going over to the bins. This is the bins. The bins, or the crazy contraption of bins that I have. Helmets, hair pieces. I try to mix colors that are the same, so pink and dark purple, and all kinds of odds and ends. Some caterpillar tracks and tubes and wires and chains. Translucent elements, so blue, everything translucent. I've got wheels, and there are so many wheels, I don't know what to do with them. For small, very individual pieces, I go to the store and I get tackle boxes. Most of my Lego bricks have been bought through really cheap venues like tag sales, garage sales, Goodwill, the Salvation Army, and donated by friends and people that I've just asked. I tell them what I do and they say, wow, it's really awesome. And some of them come forward with stuff. And that's really, really cool. It always comes in different condition, so I try to clean it as much as possible. Just show you a little bit of what I've created here. We got a fort. We've got little vignettes and things. We've got my favorite, Omac, that goes with the Islanders, but he's from an episode of BrickTube I've created, you know, from what was that Nickelodeon show? Legends of the Hidden Temple, that's right.
When Kurt gives you the signal, you'll have 3 minutes to race inside and recover the crown of Richard the Lionheart. Return with the crown in 3 minutes, and you will be handsomely rewarded.
Okay, over here, some of you might recognize this from Battle of the Brick. Battle of the Brick was an animation that I made back in, I think I started in 2004 when Halo 2 was first getting up. And back then, you know, I was in high school. I was really into video games, and that's all I cared about. So I thought it'd be great to make a scale model of Zanzibar from Halo 2, that map. And I made a 27-minute long animation of red guys versus blue guys. And this is all that remains. This is the last piece that I saved. This is, you know, it says Camp Frohman. It's the piece from the left of the side. We got the warthog. We got the ghost. People seem to like. We got the blue guy who has the flag. He's great. And that's really all it is. During all stop-motion animations, the characters that you're animating will break. And this is a bag of all of the feet, the red and blue feet that I used over the course of Battle of the Brick. So all of these broke or cracked and something, and that happens in all stop-motion animations. So it shows you just how much a toll they take, I guess. I was a big fan of the Rock Raiders video game that they made for the PC. And here's the super teleport path. I love this stuff because I loved that game. It was an underrated RTS game, type game. And fantastic stuff. So I just try to, this is my little homage to it. And maybe I'll make an animation with that in the distant future. This is a Sony PS4. It looks pretty cool on this end, but as you can see, like most of my stuff, it's hollow on the inside because there's no need to see the inside. I didn't end up doing the back. I wanted to, but there wasn't enough time. So here we are at the current project of Kooberz Studios. This is an animation for Pacific Rim, and it's actually a part of the series I'm working on right now called BrickTube. You can see it on Machinima's channel, and it's on my channel on YouTube, and you'll search for it. And there's one episode as of the making of this right now, and there are more episodes coming out, and I'm working on them. The process takes a long time. So a lot of times you'll see that I have more than one project going at one time. I originally built Wall Street over here for a Batman Dark Knight Rises animation. But at the time, I had other obligations. I had to get started on other projects that I had to do, so I had to put the project on hold. So right now, I have a giant model of Wall Street with Batman characters and vehicles on the table that I'm not even using right now. And over here is Pacific Rim on the side, and you know, it's great to have it on a ping pong table because it's large enough where I can do everything, but it's also compact enough where I can put everything underneath, and it doesn't take up so much space.
So first question is, how long have you been doing Lego animations?
Well, so I've been making Lego animations. I started when I was 12. The Lego company came out with a product called the Lego Steven Spielberg Movie Maker set. And I remember at the time I was using my Lego bricks to create little stories, you know, but I wanted to preserve the stories that I was creating in my mind and on the floor with the Lego. It seemed logical to me. It's like, okay, you take a picture and then you move it and you take a picture. That's a very simple process. Maybe I'm just too dumb to get anything else, but I understood that process. And back then I made a lot of cool little movies back then. I made a Star Wars animations.
So why do you use Lego instead of, say, clay or action figures or anything of that nature?
The Lego was readily available. I had a bunch as a kid, so I kept using them. It's the medium where you can create anything you want and almost any color you want, and depending on your skill level, you can make it look very colorful and playful, or super serious and as close to reality as possible if you want. And I've used paper before. I've used paper to animate, I used it to animate one of my last animations in college on a tack board. That was fun.
So in terms of animating, what kind of hardware and software do you use to actually do the animation?
My first camera, this was my first camera. This what is this? An ApeTech DV3100. It had 3.1 megapixels and digital zoom and a removable drive. So that it shows how far we've come. It had 2 focus settings. It had people and mountains and flower. The main camera that I use right now is a Canon EOS 5D Mark II. It's a fantastic camera. It has the ability to do live mode, which is when it's connected to my laptop with a USB cable, and I use a program called Dragon Frame. The program allows me to see what the camera sees through the lens, and then make decisions on what I want to shoot. It allows me to do onion skinning, which is the blending of frames, so you can see what mistakes you made from the last frame and vice versa. And It allows me to play the movie instantly. I can play it right now if it loads.
So what do you find most rewarding about animating?
I'd say definitely the most rewarding part of it is seeing the reactions on people's faces when they see my animations for the first time. And then there are other little things, like if I animate something very, very specifically and it comes out exactly the way I wanted, that's a satisfying experience. There was one I can remember. There was one piece of animation in Battle of the Brick where this blue guy takes out a grenade and he like does this motion where he lobs it. Everything was hit the mark. So that's incredibly satisfying.
How long does it take you to do, say, 1 minute of animation?
So every minute of video, every shot takes a different amount of time. I've got Pacific Rim going on. This has taken me a long time. I've got 300 individual pictures in this shot already, and it's taken me days. And it only lasts about 10 seconds right now. The more emotion you're trying to get out of the inanimate objects, the longer it's going to take.
How many photos is that?
How many photos is a minute? So I shoot 24 frames per second, but I shoot doubles, which is a process of, for every movement, you take 2 pictures instead of just 1. It's really just 24 pictures times 60? What is that? Math? A minute of animation is roughly, or exactly, 1,440 pictures.
How do you feel that stop-motion animation holds up against more modern animation techniques?
Son of a... We're so good with the computer. The computers have caught up so much that it's imperceptible almost. However, everything that's generated in the computer will always be a simulation. It's always trying to mimic reality. And the uniqueness of stop-motion animation and the speciality of this medium is that everything you're looking at is real. There is no trick. If you watch old Disney movies, you can see the pencil marks in the Aristocrats. You can see all in 101 Dalmatians. You can see all of the little pencil drawings, and that's the artist. That's part of the art. Even the mistakes, that gives it a human quality that allows you to connect with it a lot more. The humanity in what you're doing comes forward.
Do you prefer to make longer or shorter videos?
So I really prefer to make longer animations if possible. I like to focus on an idea as you would a short story, like for a short film or for a feature-length film. Eventually, I will make a feature-length stop-motion animated Lego film, brick film, whatever you want to call it.
How much Lego do you own?
I have no idea how much Lego I have. In order to cut down on space and general resource space, that I would get rid of all the boxes and all the other things. And I tried to save them for a while, but it didn't make any sense. You know, I've seen other people with collections that far exceed my own. So that's one thing. My collection pales in comparison to some people out there.
Is it just you, or do you have other people part of your production team?
So Kooberz Studios is actually a production of a very small team of people. I am the sole person who goes around and builds everything. I animate everything, and I cut everything in post. I add a lot more of the special effects now than I did at the beginning, and I do almost every part of the animation part myself. I have incredible friends that I knew from college that have helped me in everything. We got my friend Ryan Sylvie. The only thing I'm really active on right now is Twitter and Facebook and stuff, but Ryan actually controls a lot of the other types of social media, and he's been great in growing the follower base and helping me be organized. I have a friend, Nick Novotny. He's out in California with some other friends, and he he does the coloring on my animation. Nick really makes the colors pop, fixes some of the inconsistencies that I've done, and he makes the images look much, much better. I also have a friend, Dan Prostak. He did a lot of the special effects, for, if not all the special effects, for Battle of the Brick. I asked him to do the sticky grenade from Halo. I have a buddy, Joe Tornatore. He has edited trailers and several like cut-up reels and stuff of my work. My brother Thomas, he has been really great recently at helping me show how to promote myself, because he's into public relations and stuff, and he's a great voice actor. He does a lot of the voices in some of the movies.
Mars is waiting to be explored. You too can build the NASA lander and Curiosity rover.
So for all those new novice and new animators out there, any advice for the new people in the field?
So my advice to young animators would be to read. Really try to use the internet for learning, to learn. You can Google anything and you can learn it. There are YouTube tutorials, there are all kinds of tutorials. So there's no excuse to not know anything except for the time. Work on your time management, because think about it. You sleep for 8 hours roughly, and then you got other priorities to do during the day, and then out of your free time, how much of that is being dedicated to learning new skills and things that are going to advance your knowledge of things that you want to learn, or your career, right? So I have 3 books here that I would recommend, though. Books, read them digitally or not. First one is Your Career in Animation, How to Survive and Thrive, and this is by David B. Levy. Another book here is The Animator's Survival Kit, right here, by Richard Williams, the director of animation on Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Not a lot of this transfers very well to Lego because they're very stiff and immovable, but the general concepts are there, and that's important. Bill Plimpton. I met him at a Comic-Con, and I was talking to him about what does it take to create an independent studio. And he recommended this book to me, his book, and I love the title, Make Tunes That Sell, by Bill Plimpton, the king of indie animation. I like that in quotes. Okay, so thanks everybody for taking the moment to watch the studio tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope your eyes have been open. I hope that you go to youtube.com/Kooberz and watch some of the videos. Watch all the videos. And, watch them again. Because I make these videos and animations for you. For the fans. You subscribe to me on YouTube, first of all. youtube.com/Kooberz, Kooberz. Then we have the Twitter, @Kooberz, and the Facebook, Kooberz Studios, on Facebook. I hope that each and every one of you follows your passion like I'm trying to do here. I hope you're successful at it, and I hope that every day you use your imagination to take you to cool places.